Tonight on CTV News, plans to build a super stop on Manchester Street continues to anger business owners. A petition demanding a Royal Commission of Inquiry into EQC repairs gathers steam. And 14 years since the world changed forever.
Broadcasting across Canterbury. From the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening, thanks for watching and welcome to CTV News, live streaming every night at ctv.co.nz. Well, plans to build a scaled down bus stop on Manchester Street continues to anger business owners. They say the developments will drive away key investors to the city, as Jared McCulloch explains.
The controversial super stop could be back on track, despite heritage advocates and business owners' requests to stop the plan.
It's a compromise, but it's not something that I'm particularly happy about.
They're very disappointed and disgruntled about the process by which the decision was made.
Last month, a hearing panel at the Christchurch City Council opposed 4 options put forth to install a public transport shelter on a section of Manchester Street, with heritage advocates and Central City property owners upset with the plans.
I think that there should be no buses on that block. Not just for the reasons of heritage, but for the other property owners that are there.
Now the councillors have voted in a full council meeting to go ahead with a proposal, a smaller version on the same site between Hereford and Worcester Streets.
They can really become part of a new and attractive boulevard. The people will enjoy being there, and I'm sure that the neighbouring businesses who've already commented that they'll be able to contribute to the ideas for that design.
We're putting all this hard infrastructure in when we know that the future of public transport is very likely to change. We have a major transport interchange 5 minutes around the corner, and that also concerns me that we're pushing through with this super stop amongst all this controversy when we've got something, the actual major transport interchange just around the corner.
I don't really believe that we've consulted enough with affected people. And for me, it's a bit like the natural hazards proposal, where the consequences of the proposal have not really been well communicated with those that are going to be affected.
But Fowler says the proposal could push away development in the CBD, putting a damper on the city's rebuild.
They can go to Wellington, Auckland, they can go to the Gold Coast. They don't need to invest here in Christchurch, but they've chosen to, and they really want to invest here in Christchurch on Manchester Street because they want to be part of the recovery.
But they're not giving up yet.
Really, it's back to the drawing board for these landowners, and I really can't say whether they will proceed or when that might be. But I think it's fair to say that there will be vacant sites along that area of Manchester Street for quite some time to come.
Don't think it will be the end of it.
Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
A petition asking Parliament for a Royal Commission has been launched. Hundreds of Christchurch homeowners are expected to sign the petition following a public meeting last night at the Transitional Cathedral. It's hoped an inquiry will look into EQC, private insurers and the Christchurch City Council's consenting processes. Well, a local man is being acknowledged for his service to one of Christchurch's sister cities in Japan. Jared McCulloch reports.
A prestigious award bringing New Zealand and Japan together.
So it was a tremendous honour, to get an award from a foreign country.
He's preparing to receive the Japanese Order of the Rising Sun for his services on the Kurashiki and Christchurch sister city relationship, tying the two cities together.
When I got the email from the Japanese ambassador from Wellington informing me that it had been awarded, I was just over the moon.
Bolam Smith is part of the Sister City Committee here in the Garden City, and he's being honoured for his work.
It's been a long journey, I suppose, 30 years. I first went to Japan and I joined the Kurashiki Sister City Committee.
His efforts were noticed through the February 2011 earthquake, helping to commission this structure to remember those from Japan who lost their lives in the disaster. There's one here and there.
They have come to this cathedral many times over the anniversaries to pray in front of it, and here I am today.
Now he's preparing himself to head to the capital to be recognised for his services to Japan.
And the worth of that connection and the friendship that we've got between, say, Kurashiki and Christchurch is like when we had the earthquake. They sent firemen down here and they collected $300,000 in the street and railway station, including the mayor, and donated it to our earthquake appeal. So that's pretty cool.
A connection due to get stronger.
We are already making plans, the committee is, for the 45th anniversary. It's the Mayor of Christchurch and the Mayor of Karashiki are both females, they're good friends, and they're both determined that the relationship's going to grow from strength to strength.
But it's not his only top honour. He received the Queen's Service Medal back in 2010 for his voluntary work.
When something like this comes along, you feel grateful and honoured, of course, but grateful that there are people, the City Council or the government to government, that it's being recognised and they see the worth of it. They really appreciate what's being done.
Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
Well, today marks 14 years since the terror attacks on the Twin Towers. Local firefighters gathered this morning in Christchurch to pay their respects to those who were victims and heroes of the tragedy. Nearly 3,000 people were killed in that devastating disaster. Still to come here on CTV News, a wellbeing program with a horse difference. Welcome back to CTV News, streaming live at ctv.co.nz. Well, now is a wellbeing program with a bit of a difference. Chelsea Daniels has the latest and straight from the horse's mouth.
In a South Island first, two Cantabrians bring their love and expertise together to help their clients find themselves.
Salter Horses and Potent Horse Coaching is really, together we offer a whole range of equine assisted services, ranging from therapy through to individual coaching and team building and team development.
The world-renowned practice of horse-facilitated learning has hit the South Island, with Gunby from Potent and Ryan from Salter Horses.
There are certainly some other great practitioners out there who are doing kind of parts of this, but that range from equine assisted therapy through to the coaching and the work for teams and organisations is unique, we believe, yes.
Yeah, and definitely a first for Canterbury.
Yes.
Yep.
They say being up close and personal to such a large, powerful being in itself is a significant experience.
I think people who come and experience this work are really blown away by the power of it. I think it's also true because it's new-ish here in New Zealand that people struggle before they see it or experience it for themselves to really visualise what it is.
The pair's aim is to help develop their clients' trust in themselves, where the horse and client are equal partners in the process.
Every single person that I've had through the door has just been blown away by the speed with which the horses actually get to the heart of the matter. Because horses are completely authentic. They can't lie. There's no reason for them to lie. And as social prey animals, they are absolute experts in non-verbal communication and in picking up what's really going on under the surface.
Equine facilitated learning and coaching is for people who want more self-awareness, confidence, emotional intelligence and connection to their authentic self.
Horses feel safe when people are what we call congruent, so where the outside and the inside matches. So what they'll really show up, and they'll often express that by just not necessarily wanting to be particularly close to a person, is if the person is not congruent, is not authentically showing on the outside what's going on the inside, then the horse may put some distance between themselves and the person. And what you always see through the process of working with the person and the horse is that as the person becomes more authentic, the horse will often, spontaneously come over and stand right next to the person and want to be close to them.
The program is for anyone of any age wanting to grow and learn through interaction with horses.
From my perspective, for my work, anyone who's interested in learning and growing through interaction with horses, this work's going to be a benefit for them. Coaching really has a focus on helping people to identify goals and then kind of work towards those. So that people are really maximising their potential, and that's for everybody from young people to retirees.
And they work with a team of mental health professionals to work on certain challenges that people face in their lives.
We can help people who have think, maybe they're worried about stuff. They've got a little bit of anxiety or depression or some addiction issues, or maybe their relationships aren't going as well as they could. So, we have an opportunity to go into a kind of a therapeutic place to do that work. That's a little bit different to the talking therapies, which are really good as well. So it's great for young people. We have young people who come out, they get active with the horses, and the horses can again give them that real-time feedback on how they're going.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Very nice. Thought I was going to jump out on the TV. Well, an upgrade to Timaru Hospital has been welcomed by Health Minister Jonathan Coleman. The South Canterbury District Health Board has been looking at the hospital's future demands over the next decade to improve its services to the lower region. Planning is currently underway for a new frontage, and it's expected to be completed over the next 3 years. The big spring clean-up, that's what's happening around the country next week. Keep New Zealand Beautiful is preparing for their clean-up week, seeing over 39,000 volunteers help out to keep our country clean. Gordon Finlater has this story.
People from all walks of life will gather next week in a range of clean-up events organised around the country. Canterbury will see its share of events, and I spoke to Linda Keel from Keep Christchurch Beautiful to find out who's helping in our region.
We get everybody. We have big businesses, the warehouse has got big groups out, New Zealand Couriers has got big groups out, banks send people out, schools, lots and lots of schools and preschools. There's over 39,000 volunteers so far been registered on the website, of which 3,000 odd are in Christchurch, Canterbury.
So, where are the clean-up hotspots?
Beaches, rivers, reserves, mountains, there's big groups in Mount Cook that go out. Cities, city centre, there's a group doing Cathedral Square, along the main avenues, reserves. Schools will do their own grounds, local areas will do their own streets, supermarket car parks. Anywhere that looks like it needs a bit of TLC, we'll get a look at.
Obviously, last year saw 562 clean-up events take place, with 15,312 rubbish bags and 8,850 recycling bags filled. With that much rubbish, there must be some interesting finds.
The audits are fascinating. In years gone past, we had groups going along riverbanks and they would find cars, washing machines, tyres, bicycles. That still happens, but mostly it's just ordinary, everyday, grotty litter. Paper, fast food wrappers, cigarette butts, plastic.
With events taking place all around the country next week, it's not too late to get involved.
The best way is to jump online. Keep New Zealand Beautiful has a great website at www.knzb.org.nz, and you can register there for an event. You can look at local events. You can join an existing event if it's not a private one.
So, if you haven't got involved in previous years, why not find an event in your neck of the woods? The events run from September 14 through to the 20th, and who knows, you might even have a great time while mucking in.
People love it. Lots of them make a picnic. They'll go out for 2 or 3 hours and have a big barbecue or a street party or, a picnic at the end of the beach, and we get photographs mostly sent to head office but also coming to us, and feedback forms that come back, and people really, once they start, they tend to come back every year, and often they will just keep doing their own thing every few months just because it's satisfying.
Gordon Finlater, CTV News.
Well, finally some good news when it comes to the government anchor project. The government says it's finally moving ahead with its Metro Sports facility. It's now calling for submissions for firms to build the 70,000 square metre building in central Christchurch. Earthquake Recovery Minister Jerry Brownlee says in a press release plans are well underway to get engineering and design services on board. The anchor project is expected to be partially opened by 2019 with a completion date the following year. It has been delayed by over a year. Well, still to come here on CTV News, local sports and the all-important regional weather forecast. Welcome back to CTV News. Now here's Gordon Finlater with a preview of the weekend local sport action.
Well, starting with Rugby League tonight, and after a win in their opening match, the Canterbury Bulls return home to take on the Akarana Falcons at AMI Stadium this Sunday. I caught up with the defending national champs at a very damp training session last night. The Bulls came away with the points in Tauranga last weekend when they defeated last year's finalists, the Waikato Bay Stallions.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be tough, and it was a tough game. They were definitely an improved side from last year, and we knew that we'd have to be on our mental to beat them up there, in the first game. And things went our way a wee bit there in the first half, and the second half it sort of went a wee bit their way. But yeah, we got the 2 points, which was our main goal on last weekend. Canterbury
coach Daryl Code is looking forward to returning to home pastures this Sunday. And after playing their home games at Denton Park last season, the side are excited to be back at the home of Rugby League in Canterbury.
And the changing facilities and the grounds themselves are in very good condition. We've got guys on this side whose fathers played on that ground back in their day of playing Premier football and representing their province. So I'm sure it's going to be a special occasion for them as well.
The coach has a core of last season's campaigners returning for another crack at the title, while his main challenge is having a short time to introduce a large chunk of new players into the team's culture.
Probably makes it more fun, because it tests you as a coach and makes sure that you're on the mental and keeping an eye and looking after these young guys. And I've got help as well from senior players that help out with these young guys, and they always bring a little bit of excitement too and keeps the old boys on their toes, so to speak. So they're always looking over their shoulder to make sure they're performing, because if they're not, one of these young guys will tap them on the shoulder and say, show them the door. So that's a good part about it this year, is we have got some good young guys that are pushing the older folk along.
After nabbing their first national title in almost a decade last season, the now defending champs know that they are the team everyone wants to beat. Bulls captain Chris Bamford is confident, though, that his side has the skill set to go back-to-back.
Yeah, I think we've got a bit of a target on our head, mate. But I think we've got the team and the depth. We've got our old heads there, and Unger and Baxendale and Cole Leaker and that, the sort of core of the team. And then we've got our young guns that we've got to keep a bit quiet at times and let them off the leash when we need them.
This weekend's opposition, the Akarana Falcons, are no easy task. And the team's senior members have some idea of what to expect from one of the competition favourites.
You definitely got to be physical against Akarana. If you're not physical in the middle, they'll run all around you. Getting in the grom off them and not letting them too far ahead of you, or else you'll be hearing them all game. Every time they score, you'll be hearing them, mate. So that's no good. So you got to, as long as I believe we're in it at half time, we'll definitely get them in the end, and that's the key. The key is to be with them at half time, and if you're with them at half time, we'll get them in the end.
They're always a good team every year. They're pretty much the benchmark of the competition. Probably them and County. So. I think, just their big boys, we just got to slow their big boys down and just grind them out, and I think, we'll come away with the win.
Sunday afternoon's game between the Bulls and Falcons kicks off at 2:30 from AMI Stadium. To rugby union now, and it's a busy weekend at AMI, with Canterbury in action against Ranfurly Shield holders Hawke's Bay tomorrow evening. Winger Patrick Osborne is a late omission from the team after pulling up with a calf strain at yesterday's training. This means that Tololo will make his second consecutive start, while Richie Mo'unga returns at 10, moving Tom Taylor to fullback. Coach Scott Robertson has an established front row available, with Joe Moody and Nipo Laulala the props, while Mitchell Dunshay and Reid Prinsep also get starts this weekend. Saturday night's game kicks off at 7:35. Motorsport now, and a podium finish will be the objective this weekend for Hayden Paddon at the Rally of Australia. The event is easily Paddon's best chance to claim his maiden World Rally Championship win after a career best second in Sardinia earlier this year. The event got underway earlier today with Paddon on the pace. After the morning loop of 4 stages, the Kiwi found himself in third overall, just 7 seconds off the lead. And finally tonight, the Crusaders have announced that they will play a pre-season match in Blenheim ahead of next year's Super Rugby season. The match between the Crusaders and Hurricanes will take place at Lansdowne Park on February the 19th. Blenheim locals will have their first chance to see Super Rugby since 2005, and the Marlborough Mayor Alistair Soman is also expecting some Cantabs to make the trip north.
That's what we'll be looking at. Come up to Marlborough, enjoy the game, and as you say, soak in a bit of the local viticulture and enjoy the time up here. We'll get people over from Nelson because our guys, people go to Nelson for the last Crusaders game, and looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Tickets for the match go on sale on October the 19th. Well, you're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Findlater for CTV Sport.
Thanks, Gordon. And if you want to get in touch with us here at CTV News, the news team's always keen to hear your stories. You can always email them at news@ctv.co.nz. And don't forget, we rebroadcast this program at 6:30pm and 9:30pm with all the information and all the video at ctv.co.nz. And now Mercy is here with the region's weather forecast.
Kia ora Canterbury. Well, today was a mostly fine day with cloudy skies and sunny breaks. However, another southerly change did come through this afternoon, bring a little bit of rain and hail for some. 12 degrees for everyone here for your high today, apart from Twizel, you were on 10. Central Canterbury, Christchurch on 13 degrees, along with Akaroa, Leeston, Ashburton and Darfield, and 11 degrees for you, Methven. Heading further north, Kaikoura on 12 degrees, along with Hanmer Springs and Culverden, a little bit warmer for Amberley, Rangiora and Oxford on 13 and 11 for you, Cheviot. Over to the mountain ranges, 7 degrees for Arthur's Pass today, 6 there for Lake Tekapo and 8 for Mount Cook. Your Saturday Timaru is looking fine and sunny. We are seeing light winds and 12 degrees for your high, 3 for your morning start. Looking to Ashburton now, could be a few afternoon sea breezes for you, but mostly light winds during the day, cloudy skies and sunshine and 13 degrees for your high. Christchurch, you can also expect a sunny Saturday in store, 13 degrees for your high and a few northerly winds coming through, 4 degrees for your morning start. Kaikoura, a lovely day for you as well. 11 degrees is your high and those southerlies will be easing off during the day. Sunshine and a few cloudy patches for the rest of the Canterbury region. We're seeing these northerlies come through for South Canterbury, 13 degrees there for Waimate. Central Canterbury, sunshine for you here as well. A good Saturday, 13 degrees for Leeston and 12 there for Akaroa and Methven. Looking further north now, that trend continues. Few cloudy breaks, however, during the afternoon we are expecting lots of sunny spells. Southerly winds for almost everyone apart from Oxford, just a few light breezes for you. And over to the Alpine region, sunshine for Arthur's Pass, a little bit of rain there though for Mount Cook. Sunday is also looking lovely and dry and fine. Could be a little bit of rain though in the evening for Christchurch and Kaikoura, but apart from that a nice day with sunny skies, southerly winds there for most places. And over to Monday, a good way to start the working week. 13 degrees for Ashburton, Christchurch and Kaikoura with a few northeasterly winds for you, Kaikoura. Looking to the rest of the Canterbury region for Sunday, those southerly winds across the region and the occasional odd shower, particularly in the evening for some places, but mostly a fine dry day. Flipping over to Monday now, sunny skies here and we are seeing a few afternoon sea breezes for most of the Canterbury region on Monday afternoon. So over the weekend we are expecting lovely dry fine days with that sunshine out and about. Could be a little bit of rain on Sunday night, but nothing too bad. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. I'm actually off to Dunedin tonight, but I'll see you back here on Monday.
And that is CTV Local News for the week. You can find all our stories on demand at ctv.co.nz. Have a great weekend.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.